True fans live for their team. For those true U of A fans, there is Hughes Federal Credit Union. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.
Welcome to Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley, here with a finally healthy Greg Hansen. We've both been fighting something, and it seems like we're both kind of over it now.
I was reduced to being a baby. I felt sorry for myself.
A lot of crying, bottle in your hand the whole time.
Pharmacist got to know me.
Well, Greg, you were healthy just in time to jump on a plane with a bunch of sick people and go to Colorado and Utah. This, to me, is such a wacky trip. Especially, you look at Colorado, they were streaking, but they're coming off a really brutal week. And then you go to Utah, which is going to be the road challenge of the year for Arizona. How do you see these things shaking out?
I think Arizona will beat Colorado and lose to Utah.
Really?
Utah, the atmosphere is going to be off the charts.
Right.
It was like that last year, and Arizona beat them.
Right. Barely.
Utah's a little bit better this year because Jacob Pertl is so good.
Right.
Coming on now more than ever. Did you see him last week?
He was incredible.
Wow, he can catch anything in traffic.
Oh, I know.
He is an NBA player.
Oh, yeah. Bill Walton, in their game against UCLA, I believe, referred to Pertl as their Mozart.
Wow.
So, if Bill Walton's calling you Mozart, you're probably good at basketball.
Yeah, they're going to be waiting, but they've been waiting for Arizona forever, and maybe this time they'll get them.
Yeah, I think that is certainly going to be the big game. But real quick, let's touch on Colorado. This is a team that leads the Pac-12 in three-point shooting percentage. Arizona has proven that when it gives up the three, it loses.
Sure.
How do you defend, especially with a couple of guards in York and Parker Jackson Cartwright, who I think have been pretty inconsistent defensively?
Sure have. I think anything can happen in that game. I mean, that's a terrible thing to say, but Arizona's been good at Colorado. The two times they lost there, they were nail biters. I don't think Colorado's as good as it has been.
Right.
I know their record's a little better this year. I think it's fool's gold.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched them lose to both LA schools last week, and they were not good.
Well, and it's funny. I think your typical Arizona fan looks at Colorado as being dangerous.
Sure.
And in a way, they were. During a span in 2012 and 2013, they played each other 6 times.
Yeah.
They split 3-3. Colorado, and I bet you forget this because I did, beat Arizona in the final Pac-12 tournament championship game at Staples Center.
Oh, yeah. Arizona had the last possession, didn't get a shot on.
Didn't get a shot off. Since then, however, Arizona's beat Colorado 4 times in a row by an average of 22.8 or something points per game. I mean, this is a rivalry that really isn't much of one right now.
When you lose Andre Robertson and Spencer Dinwiddie and can't replace them, like Sean Miller replaces people, you're going to sag off, and I think Colorado has sagged off.
You want to talk about a team that's not sagging. You look at Utah. This is a team that has very good bigs, skilled. They're playing at home. To me, Arizona's only saving grace in that game is that Arizona's best players are all bigs.
Pertl might get in foul trouble early, but so might Tarsuski.
Right.
How they call that game is really going to be important in the first 10 minutes.
Well, and if you remember last year's game in Salt Lake, that was one of the most baffling officiating games I've ever seen in my life.
They sent a C-level crew to that game. I remember it when I walked on the court. I went, it was the game of the year in the league, and they sent, mid-level refs.
Right. One last thing, Greg. I mean, you're a Utah born and bred guy. I don't think here in Tucson we understand just how big Utah basketball can be there. Talk about the environment at the Huntsman Center.
They'll get 15,200 people. Their student section now is back to what it used to be.
The Muss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When I grew up there, Utah went to 2 Final Fours. They were good all through the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, and now they're back to where they were at the Majerus level, and they're waiting. This is their shot, too, because Pertl's going to leave.
Right.
If they don't win this year, I think next year they'll be back in the middle of the pack. Right. So they're throwing it all in the middle this year.
Sure. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, it'll be terrific. Last year it was 0 degrees up there.
Oh, my God.
This year it's supposed to be 50.
50? No skiing. Come on, Greg.
Bruce Pascoe said he's going night skiing.
Of course.
He says that every year and never goes.
It's because Bruce is always working. At least that's the way I try to explain it.
Yeah, when he gets done at 10 o'clock, the lift's closed.
The lift has closed. Exactly. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Greg Hansen's Video Notebook, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. For Greg Hansen, did you hate Utah growing up or just BYU?
BYU was up here.
Right.
Utah was here.
Kind of there. Okay. A Utah State Aggie right here. I'm Ryan Finley.
True fans live for their team. They buy the gear, they order the tickets, they pay for the seats and the experiences. For those true U of A fans, thankfully there is Hughes Federal Credit Union, offering the latest payment choices such as U of A debit cards, paying online, paying a friend with pop money, or using Apple Pay with your mobile phone. Show your U of A spirit and put technology and convenience at your fingertips. Hughes Federal Credit Union. Smart choice.